Welcome to the Balanced Story, where words come alive and stories shape the way we think, act, and learn. Today's story is not just about characters and events, but about a universal truth that every human being faces at one time or another: the power of patience. Life often places us in situations where emotions overwhelm us, where anger takes control of our judgment, and where problems appear larger than life itself. In those very moments, what defines our destiny is not the size of the problem, but the strength of our response. This story will take you into a journey that shows why patience is not a weakness, but a hidden power, why wisdom often comes when we pause, and why life rewards those who stay calm even in the storm. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by fields and mountains, there lived a young man named Arif. He was kind-hearted, hard-working, and full of dreams, but he had one weakness: he was quick to lose his temper. Whenever things did not go his way, anger would burn inside him like fire. His words became sharp, his actions careless, and later, when the storm of emotions settled, regret always followed. Many in the village admired his energy but warned him gently that anger can destroy even the strongest of men. Yet Arif believed that quick action, even in anger, showed strength. He thought patience was for the weak. One day, fate decided to test him. His father, an old wise farmer, entrusted Arif with a piece of land. It was his responsibility to take care of the crops, water them, and protect them until harvest. Arif felt proud. This was his chance to prove that he was capable, that he could handle responsibility, and that he could create something valuable with his own hands. Day after day he worked hard, waking up before sunrise, plowing the soil, planting seeds, and carrying water. The plants grew, green and fresh, and hope filled his heart. He dreamed of the day when the harvest would bring not only food but also honor and recognition from the whole village. But life, as it often does, sent a challenge his way. One evening, as he walked toward the field, he saw footprints leading into the crops. His heart began to race. When he reached the center, he saw that some of his plants were damaged. The leaves were crushed, and a part of his field looked ruined. He clenched his fists in anger. His face turned red, and without thinking, he shouted, "Who dares to destroy my hard work?" His mind immediately suspected his neighbor, a poor man named Cameron who often passed by his land. Without waiting, without asking, without thinking, Arif stormed into Cameron's small hut and accused him loudly. "You are jealous of my field. You destroyed my plants." Cameron, shocked and hurt, tried to explain, but Arif's anger drowned every word. The villagers gathered, watching the scene unfold. Some tried to calm Arif, but his fury was unstoppable. In his anger, he even pushed Cameron out of his hut and insulted him. That night, Arif returned home with a heavy chest but refused to admit he was wrong. In his heart, anger still boiled, and he thought he had defended his honor. But his father, who had silently observed, shook his head with disappointment. "My son," he said softly, "anger may feel powerful in the moment, but it leaves destruction behind. Truth never fears patience. If you had waited, wisdom would have shown you the real answer." The next morning, Arif went back to his field. To his surprise, he saw fresh footprints again. He followed them carefully this time and discovered that the damage had not been caused by Cameron or any human. It was a wild bull that had entered the field at night in search of food. The truth hit him harder than any slap. His knees weakened, and shame covered him. He had falsely accused an innocent man, damaged his dignity, and allowed anger to blind his judgment. Arif felt regret burning inside him. He went to Cameron, bowed his head, and asked for forgiveness. Cameron, though hurt, forgave him with a gentle smile. "Brother," he said, "we are all humans. We make mistakes. But remember, anger is like fire. It burns not only others but also the one who holds it. Patience is water. It cools the fire and saves what is valuable." These words sank deep into Arif's heart. For the first time, he truly understood the power of patience. From that day onward, Arif decided to change. Whenever anger rose inside him, he took a deep breath, counted slowly, and reminded himself of the bull in the field, the moment when his hasty anger had led him to humiliation. Slowly, he transformed. His friends noticed the change, his family felt the peace in his presence, and the village began to respect him not for his temper but for his wisdom. Years later, when Arif became a father, he told this story to his children again and again. He wanted them to understand that patience is not about doing nothing, but about giving space for truth to reveal itself. Problems, like knots in a rope, cannot be solved by pulling harder in anger. They untangle when approached with calmness and care. And often, the solution that appears with patience is far better than the one forced by haste. The lesson of Arif's story lives beyond his village and beyond time. It applies to every one of us today. How often do we let anger drive us into saying words that wound the ones we love? How many times do we make decisions in the heat of the moment, only to regret them later? Life's challenges will never stop. People will misunderstand us, situations will test us, and problems will surprise us. But if we meet them with patience, we discover strength we never knew we had. Patience does not mean weakness. It is silent power. It is the art of waiting, the wisdom of observing, and the courage of holding peace when chaos surrounds us. In the journey of life, patience becomes the solution to many problems. A student who patiently studies each day reaches success. A farmer who patiently waits for his crops to grow enjoys harvest. A parent who patiently guides a child builds character. A leader who patiently listens earns trust. Everywhere you look, patience is not just a virtue, but the key that unlocks progress. And when we connect this lesson with learning English or any new skill, the truth becomes even clearer. Many learners feel frustrated. They want to speak fluently overnight, to understand everything immediately. But language, like life, blossoms slowly. Each word learned, each sentence practiced, each mistake corrected is like watering the plant of knowledge. If you rush, frustration will break your confidence. But if you remain patient, progress will surprise you. The same story that teaches life's wisdom also guides your learning journey. Patience with yourself, patience with your practice, and patience with your progress will eventually turn your efforts into success. So, whenever you face a problem, remember Arif's story and the bull in the field. Ask yourself, am I reacting in anger, or am I responding with patience? Am I rushing into regret, or am I waiting for wisdom? Every moment gives us a choice, and that choice shapes our future. Life will never stop testing us, but we can always choose how we face those tests. Let patience be your companion, let wisdom be your guide, and let calmness be your strength. Problems will come, but with patience, solutions will follow. That is the power of patience, the solution to life's problems, and the lesson that makes us not only better English learners but also better human beings.